children, hear from my children as I share my blood, love, and tears. Stay tuned and stay tuned. Stay tuned. Audio, stay tuned, y'all. Just, we ad libbing, we making it do what it do. Y'all, I already told y'all that. So, hey, in a moment, you'll be able to see me as my phone is going dead. You'll be able to see what we've been working on for the past week, what we've been working on with all 6 of my children. We're trying to make sure the audio is straight. Again, I am unscripted. I am me, and we will be back in a moment. Stay tuned. I think. Keep going, keep going. Hey, y'all, this is what I do. I'm going to keep going until they say we can go. So, y'all still comment. Comment, say, hey, this is what you're doing, Prima. I am, again, being me, being real, being transparent. I promise you, you'll enjoy it. You'll get to learn more about me. You'll get to learn more about my family. And this is what happens when life happens, And again, I told you I make lemonade out of lemons. And I might be able to get this uploaded, the pregame part. It looks like it. Hold on. I want to make sure I have this part on, y'all. Hold on. It might not seem professional, but it's professional. And I think we are almost ready. So y'all just stay tuned. I haven't seen any more comments or questions, but please give them to me in the end. You can even talk about me filling in. This is called fillers. This is called pregame, like I said. Like say the team is lining up and they have to finish putting the stripes on the field or whatever they have to do in between games. Halftime. This is halftime and pregame. As we figure it out, I'm watching for cues. I'm also watching my phone to make sure my video is uploading. I would like for people to, I know it. Every Wednesday night, please stay tuned. I got on, although we were in the mix, I got on at 8 p.m. as I said, because I said I would show up on time. So that is what I am doing. Also, every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. on YouTube, please tune in to Just Prima, Pr1ma. If you don't get to catch me live, you can go back and watch all the other shows. And hold on, y'all. Watch all the other shows and you can get caught up. I am not quite certain. Okay, so I think we're ready, y'all. So here I go, and then I want to tell you about something I'm doing on June 23rd. However, July 23rd. Okay, so again, stay tuned. I'll be back in a moment.
If you think you know me, you didn't really know it all. I've been through my shared struggles and I'm still here standing tall. Never the type to fold, if I fall I wouldn't fear. I'm giving you all of me, this my blood, love and tears. If you think you know me, you didn't really know it all. I've been through my shared struggles and I'm still here standing tall. Never the type to fold, if I fall I wouldn't fear. I'm giving you all of me, this my blood, love and tears.
Hey y'all, it's me again. Right now, what I'm getting ready to do is let y'all hear my kids. I asked them certain questions. What type of parent am I? Or what type of parent I was? Was there anything they felt like I could do differently, humanly possible? Because some of them had some unrealistic answers because they thought I could split myself in 3. And were there any big lessons that they would take with them along the way? I have a few pictures that I am going to have playing at the same time. And if you miss it this time, you can always go back and watch it. And anything that comes up for me in the end, I will comment on before I close. So at this point, I'm going to watch with you and see what we put together with my babies. So here we go.
Well, I think that you were a great mother. I like how you tried to instill church into us, even though we might have rejected it at times. You always tried to let us know that there is a God, there is a higher power, and that you should believe in something.
Listen, you already got a dope personality. You know what I'm saying? Only thing I ain't really that like is the whipping. You know what I'm saying?
The
Other than
whippings.
that,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
but other than that, I mean, what more could you do? What more can we ask for? You know what I'm saying? Life. But the truth, it was always good time. You know what I'm saying? And you strong. Like Trey said, as far with spirituality, yeah, you kept us at church and stuff. Like,
You got to make a full sentence, stupid.
see,
You know what I'm saying?
see,
Well, with me, uh, I like I like how you always you never judged us, no matter all the crazy shit we done did and were doing. You never judged us and you loved us and protected us, even if we was wrong. I always loved and admired that. One thing that I always, well, that I still took with me and use with me now. Remember when you had told me, if you grown enough to go out and party the night before you got to go to work, you grown enough to get your ass up and go to work the next morning because you knew you had to go to work before you started partying the night before. So I still use it. Even when I party, I still, my mama said I got to go to work. Like, so I liked that. You always kept us together. You kept us clean. You kept us fresh by yourself without asking for it.
we stayed nine, Brian.
Good, but when we make our own little decisions and whatnot, ain't too much you can do about that. When you instill good in us, and we were growing up, so we had to learn on our own. I'm back.
Hey,
I feel like I feel like you're a hell of a woman, a hell of a mother. I feel like you know God knew that our father wasn't gonna be present. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he equipped you. I feel like he equipped you with everything you needed. You feel what I'm saying? To be both a father and a mother to us. Like I said, the Christian values that you instilled in us. You know what I'm saying? The morals. You know what I'm saying? The ethics as far as just how to become, men. You feel what I'm saying? Even when in our interaction with women, ain't no female. I remember you saying, ain't no female. Don't want female with no dirty man. You was big on cleaning up. You feel what I'm saying? Clean up, clean up. You was big on education. You feel what I'm saying? You was big on. I always tell us to stay out the hands of the law and stuff like that. You was like, cause sometimes you get yourself in trouble. It's easy to get in trouble, but it's hard to get out of. You feel what I'm saying? You was big on. The biggest thing I think I've learned was like, loyalty. You see what I'm saying? Like um, again, like I don't care what go on outside of this home, you feel what I'm saying? But you was big on keeping us together, like y'all all y'all got. You see what I'm saying? And you know, I don't feel like you could have did anything, differently. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like again, we chose our own path. Um, you didn't judge us. You didn't wash your hands of us, even though especially me, I feel like I gave you the most problems and the most headaches and heartaches. Um, but I do feel like, you never, I feel like I learned not just loyalty, but, endurance. You feel what I'm saying? You know, you never turned your back on us. You could have, you feel what I'm saying? I feel like sometimes you should have, but, again, you didn't. So,
That's all right. You know what I missed in life too. I remember, well, it was back to what Gabe was saying. Mama, like, don't no girl want no dirty man. Remember when Mama used to sit us down once a week and clean our nails and our toes?
yeah.
I don't even
nah,
think I
I
remember
remember,
that.
I remember the spring cleaning on early Saturdays. I
Early
feel like
Saturday.
every pot,
Yeah, I used to
crack,
hate
every
that.
dish.
Nah, hey,
Y'all getting off topic because I got to
I'm on that.
So do y'all
Yeah.
remember me saying that I wanted y'all to be self-sufficient and independent, and you would only need a
Yeah.
woman for what?
You always talk that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for sure.
You always talk that. I mean, that was my next thing. I was gonna say that I like the fact that you taught us not to be dependent on nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Don't settle for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it always kind of pushed us to do more and go as far as life would take us. You know, we might not always make the right decisions in life, but you know, I guess that comes with trial and error. You know,
Mm-hmm.
be risk takers. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's not the right way, but something that we had to learn. So I have taken that to account. Like I never settle for nothing. But I feel like I'm always pushing for more. I'm always striving for more. I like something. I like that you. That's something that you definitely taught us.
I think I get my hard work from you. The way you work, well, I ain't never seen you without no job
Mm-hmm.
and being to
Mm-hmm.
and being to work all these full time jobs, all these years, and still have time to deal with us and be active and actually was like some parents they just parents. But when we went out to go hang out and whatnot, you actually interacted with us, you interacted with our friends, whether you like them or not. And you never turn nobody away. Although you get on my nerves sometimes when you be being too nice to people.
I'm telling you.
Y'all get on my nerves. I don't always like y'all. You know I always love y'all. Y'all don't
Supposed to,
always like me, so hey, that's life.
hey, as long as you love me, I'm alright with you not liking me.
Oh yeah, at the moment.
Word.
But I'm still always your biggest cheerleaders. Like I said, your biggest cheerleader.
And I know I'm stubborn and got a smart mouth and badass attitude. I know I get on your nerves.
So what did I tell y'all about each other?
Oh, your brother
Always
can.
always sit together. We all that's one thing we always taught us. Made us
I,
sit
I,
together.
I'm gonna tell you when you talk that when Dominic got the fight with Abdul out there on Central.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You gotta
I
be your
remember that.
brother.
Okay,
You
yeah,
gotta be
I
the.
think we all I
So
think we all learned that. One fight,
so
all that fight.
so what
Like
about when your brother beating your own
That happens in the house as long as y'all united
Hey,
front when you
yeah,
go
hey,
outside.
and I like how Mama let us do our own thing, but until somebody got to crying, then she'll tell us, "Well, I'm gonna beat you and the one that made you cry." So that kept us from talking and telling on each other.
Or what about the
Just like
toys when y'all would fight over toys and I'm like, y'all gonna solve it or y'all want me to solve it? Cause y'all know I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna throw it all away. If y'all can't figure it out, y'all gonna figure it out or y'all want me to figure it out?
hmm
I remember one time, Dominic, you was trying to bow out the TV, trying to watch a little Cora, a little Sammy video. Trey wanted the remote. It was a Stone Mountain. She beat the hell out your ass. You know, she beat you like a slave.
I don't even remember that. I was just gonna say, I think I ain't even gonna lie. That's probably one of my favorite memories when you kicked us out and made us live in that tent in the backyard.
That shit was stupid as hell.
Trey
that shit
Hey,
was
said that was the
childish.
worst. Trey was like, that was too extreme.
that wasn't that bad.
It wasn't.
Well, now that you look back at it, like I said, it was funny.
Y'all didn't appreciate either way between the cars, the jewelry, the watches, the shoes, the girls, the oldest one with the Jamaican in the shoes, and he was at the skating rink, from abortions to Southwest Key where they had to come back and forth to the house 5 times a day, from the offender class that I took off and I said, hey, I'm not an offender, I'm not saying anything. Or what about do y'all remember Cub Scouts and tennis and baseball and
Yep, childhood.
basketball and me being at the field all day for y'all to play basketball, me being an
I
umpire.
wish you had more time to so we can actually do more sports and activities like that.
Well, y'all did baseball and basketball. Y'all did tennis and
Yeah,
swimming.
I know.
Y'all did basketball. I mean, Boy Scouts. Now I wasn't sleeping outside with your grandma here to sleep outside. But now that y'all are grown and y'all are parents, and although y'all thought I could split myself in three, what I was trying to be mindful of as a woman, I didn't want to scar y'all where y'all hated women. I wanted y'all to treat women accordingly. um, I wanted to be your teacher, your advocate, the enforcer. So of course I was the one that had to whoop you and discipline you or put you on punishment. But I feel like I went way the extra mile. Way, way,
Yeah.
way the extra mile.
When we
Um,
when we At time,
Huh?
I said yeah, especially because we didn't deserve it at times. But like I said, that's why I said earlier, you still loved us even when we didn't need it or didn't deserve it. No matter
Especially
what,
when
we
you
Yeah, we didn't.
still rocking with
We
us.
ain't missing. We ain't missing no meal. The lights never out. Water always
Nope.
on.
Yup.
I remember that time you could not help
And made me shave my beard. I was hot about
Well, it
matter of
didn't
fact,
work. It didn't work. That's what we
it.
talked
tell
No,
you
about last
something.
night. It didn't work.
I'm gonna tell you what happened with Trey Time here, figure jacket, the bubble jacket, and Latonia. You throwing something it cost the jacket ain't got too heavy. Trey took it out. Then he had his name on the
It was too
goddamn.
heavy. That motherfucker was too heavy. I'm trying to run with it. I got it open. Every time I run it, it's like a goddamn parachute. Shit holding me back.
What happened to
I
my
gotta
two
take this
carat?
thing
Look,
out.
what happened to my 2 carat ring?
Took care, right?
Who took that?
I know who
Jay?
right.
did.
Jay took that.
I
Mm-hmm.
gave that. I was.
I didn't I
I
didn't
thought
even know it.
I think I remember
Ricky
when
Fontaine. That's Ricky Fontaine right here. He smashed everybody.
she got Kimberly.
I told you,
Yes,
I told you, I had took
You
the
said
money
who?
out your closet, and I
Kimberly.
told you,
Yeah,
No, you
Kimberly.
didn't tell me.
I
You
did
didn't
tell
tell
you
me.
that. I did tell you that.
No,
Sorry, don't
no.
remember.
Look, it was
I'm
so
telling
much.
when we
I
got
don't
older.
even look.
Trey was a
It was
low
so
key
much
thief.
going on that I don't even keep record of, and some things that y'all talking about, I'm like, yeah, they did do that. Oh, I do remember. I don't. Um,
Nah, but look, it's funny because I had took it. I didn't spend nothing out of it. Didn't take nothing out. I took it and I hid it in the shed that was in the back. And then when I went back up there, somebody had it was gone.
whoever you told about what you did.
I didn't tell
I didn't
nobody.
even know what 2 carats was, so I doubt
Your brother didn't know what it was either. He just thought he was in love with the 25th girl he was in love with.
it.
I messaged her on Facebook Messenger, was like, hey, what my ring is?
You was a loving parent. You always tried to make us feel like I guess you were enough. You always made us feel loved. Uh, try to give us enough love, being that our father wasn't there. If that makes sense. You worked. I guess that's where we got. Well, I guess that's where I got my work ethic from. Hard worker, you work, went to school all at the same time. I mean, that's why I don't. I kind of took that and try to use that in my relationships, like as far because there was nothing. There was. I feel like I feel like that if you could work and do everything with 4 kids, that there's no reason that whoever I'm talking to, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I use. That's something I do use. I don't like you did it, so I know if you can do it, they can do it. As far as your grandkids, I think you can get your grandkids more. You ain't never that busy, bro. You done got some. You got to do something every weekend. You have a lot of input and things to say. I feel like all right, you can help out a little more. You can step up a little more. If you would like you would tell us, you would do a little more. I feel like that. As far as but growing up, I mean, you're a good mother. I don't know. I think I might have been a little closer to you than they was, but you made me feel like, hey, you always made me feel love. You always made me feel like it was okay to be different, to be, you know, to feel like being that you was always working, you were gone a lot, and that probably had played a part on how we are now. It probably played a little part. Like, yeah, I feel like we could have spent, or I feel like we could have had spent more time together growing up. I'm not saying we didn't spend time together, but single mother growing up, you gotta do what you gotta do. So now that we're older and have kids and all that, we understand the sacrifices and stuff that you had to make back then. Now all the kids you were the house that everybody want to be at. That all the kids want to come to. You were open and I guess more open and honest than their parents was. I guess when we were sexually active, you told us, if you're gonna do it the right way. Check yourself, wrap it up. What's up, man?
What's going on?
The one of your four sons has been together since then. That was what 2013,
Uh,
2014,
no, it was 2007.
2007.
Yeah.
See, even further. That's crazy. I thought it was.
So like again, time would fail me if I was to really sit and try to articulate, what you were as a parent. I feel like you shouldn't have done anything differently. You feel what I'm saying? But that's me. I can speak for me. I can't speak for nobody else. I think you did everything you're supposed to do. It was just choices. We chose our own path. Like, I mean, it had nothing to do with your parent. Your parenting was superb. You did what you were supposed to do without
Yeah,
no
I
help.
agree.
Without no help. You feel what I'm saying? But Zay was never done. You see what I'm saying? Like, and you did that even when other people, other father figures stepped in. You feel what I'm saying? They was doing the bare minimum. You see what I'm saying? And you still handled it, picking up their slack. So I'm saying, like, I don't feel like you should have did nothing. I mean, you could because I mean, you was unpredictable. Like, I was out of control. Doing stuff. Like, I know. I mean, like I said, I don't want you blaming yourself or faulting yourself and thinking like, well, I could have, I should have. It's crazy. Like, you did everything you could.
You could have fought more for us, and you let them take us away. Let them take us away. We love you. We ain't saying we not saying you ain't tried. You did. Like if you ask me, I think you did great. I want whoever I'm with to be as close to you as possible. If you ask me, like yeah, you were great. You was a great mother.
Yeah, superwoman.
I think I would take a lot of qualities out of you, and I'm looking for that. And whoever I'm talking to.
Yeah. I mean, life lessons. I mean, never give up. Endure.
I don't feel like you ever gave up on us, even though the whole community state. I don't think you gave up on us. We don't feel like that.
Say that you don't take nothing from anybody, nothing, no bull, like nothing crazy. You wouldn't take nothing from nobody. Um, when you when you when you stick to something, you're gonna do it. Like when you set your mind on something, you're gonna do it. Let's go.
Is when you sat down with me to do my schoolwork when I wasn't doing it. You're a good mom, and I appreciate you. A good mom. I would say, Okay. I would say that she's a good and loving person. She has a great personality. Yeah, that too. Um, Loving, fun, interesting, loving, caring, honest. You get me sometimes when you have to say something over and over again.
You was you was a great parent, man. You a great person. I'm gonna tell you why I say that, right? Because you can and whatever you do in life, you gotta be consistent, right? I always watch you get up, go to work, come back, go to work, come back. But you still do it with a smile on your face, right? And that was important. You know, I never really knew your struggles as far as like growing up, cause matured, but like being that I growed up, we've been able to converse and become close. I realize how much of a great parent you are. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and there's a lot of lessons. It's like a blur now, but cause time has passed, I done been absent a lot. I always listen to what you tell me. Never tell me nothing wrong when it comes to family, women. Man, say you was the mother and the father. You played both of them roles. You know, 'cause, Pops was a deadbeat, so you had to pick up that slack.
Type of parent, I mean, it's regular parent like anybody else parent. Just everybody is different, but he was cool with me. I liked your parenting style. It wasn't too bad. It gets lessons learned, hard work. It's work and do what you're supposed to. Take care of your family, look after each other. I learned if I was grown enough to party and go and hang out the night before, then I was adult enough to get up and go to work the next morning. Although I might not have wanted to, but I knew I had to. I mean, it wasn't too much. No, it wasn't too much else you could do differently. I mean, you can. All parents can say, "I wish I could have did this or I should have did that," but it's, kids have their own mind and what they want to do. So you can steer somebody in the right direction. But if they choose to do something else, I mean, ain't nothing you can do about that. You can be upset all you want and try to force it, but everybody gonna do what they want. Everybody got their own life to live, and they gonna do what they want.
So, I love you for sure.
I love you too.
Love you.
Yeah.
Shakespeare said, to thine own self be true. And to Prima's own self, I'm going to be true. Although me being comfortable makes other people uncomfortable. And Just Prima is about me, my life, my ups, my downs, my trials, my triumphs. It's me being encouraging, empowering, and inspiring. I will say anything, you don't know what will come out my mouth, so don't be surprised. All right, y'all, I am back. Hopefully you were able to hear what you couldn't hear initially. You can go back and watch later because it'll come together, hopefully. I am glad that you joined me. I hope you enjoyed listening to myself and my children and my grandchildren. The first thing that came to mind, I took notes, I'm making it do what it do. The first thing that came to my mind, which I think I mentioned on the last episode, is that parenting has definitely taught me a more life applicable, let me say that, way of understanding the love that our Creator has for us. Me being a Christian growing up, and me reading the Bible and learning about the grace and mercy and love and forgiveness of God, and us being told that God is our Heavenly Father and God loves us and we're created in the image of God and God desires that we win and none be lost, and all these loving, wonderful thoughts that God has for us. I can understand being a mother of children and grandchildren that, of course, they are me, they are part of me. I want them to win. I love them. I extend mercy and grace, and I have unconditional love for them. I don't love them conditionally. And that's one thing for me that I learned when my mother passed, and I'm talking about me being a child. Once my mother passed, I realized that, or I have felt that my mother is or was the only person on earth that loved me unconditionally. I feel like everyone else loved me with conditions, and I love my children unconditionally. Although my children have hurt me, they've disappointed me, they didn't always show up the way I wanted them to show up. When I had the Ken and Barbie dreams, or, the mom, the dad, the house on the hill, the white picket fence, the dog, the cat, the fairy tales that we have as little girls, or most little girls. That's what I thought life would be. That's what I wanted life to be. And then life showed up different for me. I heard one of my sons say that they did things, or me staying around or me sticking to it is something that they didn't deserve. I feel like as a parent, for me, you don't always do things that because your children deserve it. The unconditional love that you have for your children, or that I have had for my children, is what has made me endure. It's made me be persistent. It's made me be their biggest cheerleader. When other people told me to wash my hands or leave them or turn away or why are you helping them, I feel like a lot of people will say what they will and won't do when they haven't walked in your shoes, or when life has not been as challenging for them. So to those people, I've said, when you walk in my shoes, then you can tell me. If you think you can walk a mile in my shoes, you might be surprised. So I learned to have tough skin, and for my children, I'm going to be there for them until the end of my life or theirs, whichever happens first. I pray I get to live to be an old lady, but that, they bury me and I don't bury them. Being told that I had gone over and beyond. I don't feel like I went over and beyond. I did what I felt led to do, and I will continue to do what I feel led to do. And as a parent, again, me paralleling myself to God, although I'm not God, God has gone over and beyond, or your creator, whatever you choose to call your creator, has gone over and beyond for me. And things that maybe I did deserve, I did not get the punishment, and the good that I didn't always deserve, I was able to receive. So grace and mercy has been extended to me, which is what I try to extend to my children. I thought it was very funny when my son said that I could be a better grandmother, meaning I could spend more time with the grandkids. And it was humorous to me because I spend more time with his kids than I have with any of the other grandkids. So that was funny to me. And again, I feel like he's one of the ones that feel like I could split myself in three and be in three places at one time. So that's also the one who said he is my favorite. I have no favorite. I love all my children. I do know for myself, like my mother told me, all your children are different. All your children need different things at different times, and you give them what they need at different times. And yes, he was the child that stayed at home the most, and eventually he went out to hang, and when he went out to hang, things happened. Some disappointments that happened for me beyond the Ken and Barbie, that was big for me because I am big on family. I had a lot of cousins and friends' children, and the children at the children's church when I was working at the two different churches. Those children graduated and they went to the prom, and I was not able to have one son to walk across the aisle to graduate. They all went on to get GEDs later. They weren't able to attend the prom, so those weren't things that I was able to participate in or see. However, I look forward to seeing my younger sons do that and my grandchildren. The song by Tupac, Dear Mama. That was a song I liked when I was younger and when I was in the club, and it came out at the right time, I guess, not knowing that a lot of what he sang about in his song would be things that I experienced with my own children. I would not have imagined those things happening in my life. You couldn't have told me that. You couldn't have told me I would have had 6 kids. You couldn't have told me I would have had 6 sons and as many grandchildren as I have. You couldn't have told me that. I couldn't have imagined it. I did not desire that. That's just what, again, life had for me. The things that I do remember and listening to my sons, where they said I instilled church and God and prayer, the times that we have been separated, and I thought that they weren't always listening. I thought that maybe I was talking just to be talking and went in one ear and out the other. To hear them, since they've been gone, to hear them say how they prayed and how they covered themselves and how they asked God to send angels of protection, them remembering me burning sage and certain songs. It was, it again has brought tears to my eyes and joy to my heart to know that a lot of the things that I said and I told them did not fall on deaf ears. I am glad that they remembered, I'm glad that they remembered that loyalty is something that I am big on. Loyalty, letting your word be your bond, that family is first. Family comes first for me. Teaching them work ethics and endurance. Endurance meaning, not quitting. I tell my children, quitters never win and winners never quit. It's funny, this past weekend, we went with my younger children to do airsoft because my youngest son wanted to do airsoft. That's where you're shooting these air guns with pellets. And my oldest son was with us. So I had 3 sons with me, the oldest and the 2 youngest. And the oldest, to see he was hard, like, hey, get out there, you better go back out there, because my one of my younger sons, the next to the youngest, his finger got hurt. He got hit with a pellet, and he was like, oh my God, I can't play anymore, and I can't make it. And myself and the oldest son, and even the baby, was like, hey, stop being a crybaby and get back out there and play. Get back out there and play. He can play basketball. He's a basketball fanatic. So he'll play with a hurt hand, a hurt wrist. He said he twist his ankle here and there, and that's the major thing. But when he saw blood, he just couldn't function anymore. And for me to have to argue with him back and forth, hey, you need to get out there and play. And he was like, no, I ain't gonna play. And I said, well, you just ain't gonna play basketball anymore. And he was like, well, I just won't play basketball because, my fingers hurt. So the difference and the oldest one was like, hey, well, mama, don't do nothing else for him because he's quitting and he's not putting in the work and he's not. And me falling back a little bit and not being as hard on him, because I realized that he's a little different than the older ones and the baby, because they are a little tougher and they have a little more endurance. So in time, like I told him, he'll learn. He's going to high school this year, so he will learn about endurance. He will learn about doing things that he doesn't necessarily want to do, being uncomfortable. And those were the things that came up for me. So I have also experienced more time in detention centers, from their dad to my brother to my father, and with my sons, from visitation lists to you wearing the wrong clothes. You have to run somewhere and get some other clothes to put on. You can't wear this type of bra. You can only bring in change and you can't bring in cash. Driving hours and hours. I could probably tell you if not every, a whole lot of prisons in Georgia, one way or another. I have driven up and down the road with them. I have gone to some counseling with them, but more so for myself. Me having sons, they don't always feel, although they talk, as you can hear, they don't always find counseling or talking to strangers important, or part of me feels like they don't feel like the counselors or the people that they're talking to, and particularly in the situations that they've been in the institutions that they've been in, that those people genuinely cared about them and was concerned about them and their situations. I can say that my sons have been loving. I like how they love each other, how they take care of each other. I like how they encourage each other. I like how they are loyal to each other. I also appreciate the fact that when my mother was transitioning, my sons were present. My sons came to sit with my mom. I look at my sons with their children and with the women in their lives. I feel like they're very catering. I feel like they do communicate with their children well, and they communicate with the ladies that have been in their life. They don't always agree, like in any relationship, but I do appreciate, again, seeing some of the fruit of my labor. Let me say that, some of the fruit of my labor. I enjoy spending time with my kids. I look forward to seeing my kids and having all 6 of my kids together again, hopefully in the near future, sooner than later. So although I've been through all those challenges as a parent, I would not trade my kids for anyone else's kids. Like I told them, if I could have the same children, maybe by different parents, fathers, co-creators, but they wouldn't be the same kids, because what I do understand is that something in my DNA and their father's DNA made them who they are. And I am thankful. What I took for granted as a younger parent, as I got older, I understand there are a lot of women out here and men that wish they had children, wish they could have had more children, wish they had one child. And where I didn't always feel like children were a blessing because of my journey, I can say now, as a woman that's almost 50 years old, I can say that children are a blessing. They are stressful, they are painful, but they have made me laugh. They have done my heart well. I want to say I love y'all to the moon and back. To the moon and back. Again, I'm going to always be your biggest cheerleader. As long as I'm in my right mind, I'll never leave you or wash my hands of you. And I also told my children, if they ever try to leave me somewhere like in a nursing home or off with strangers and let somebody else take care of me, then I'm a cut whoever drops me off. I'm slashing whoever is dropping me off. So between the ex-wives, the ex-baby mamas, the baby mamas, my granddaughters, or yourself, or them putting their money together and have me at someone's house for me to be taken care of, then that is what I expect of my children. I want them to be independent and self-sufficient. You know, there are a lot of people that have said, hey, you got all those kids, they're gonna one day take care of you. I want my children to take care of themselves first. But when I'm unable, and if I'm unable to do for myself, then that's when I would like for my children to be able to step in and do that. I cannot see any comments, but I will go back on later to respond. So I would appreciate any comments, feedback. If I cannot see them right away, please come back on within the hour. Give me time to upload my first stuff and the second part, because I'm not certain how we're going to merge it, or it might be two different parts because that was the pregame and this is this. Because I would love to hear what you have to say. I would love any questions. Like I said, any questions or comments, please tune in to me next Wednesday on YouTube, just Prima, Pr1ma, as I continue to share my blood, love, and tears. Thank you for your patience tonight. Thank you for tuning in, and see you next week. And with that, I am done.